The stunt wire yanked me backward like a noose from hell, slamming my body against the hood of that exploding prop car with a crack that echoed through the soundstage. Fake blood sprayed hot across my face, tasting like copper pennies and regret, as I tumbled to the rain-slicked asphalt, my ribs screaming in the scripted agony of death. But in that split-second freefall, my gloved hand caught Michael's collar. Not by accident, not really, and I pulled him down with me, our lips crashing together in a kiss that tasted like gunpowder and forbidden fire, the camera rolling, the crew frozen, and the world about to shatter. Michael's eyes widened above me, green as shattered emeralds, his breath hitching in a gasp that no one could dub over later. "Cut! What the fuck was that?" The director bellowed from his chair, but the damage was done. The raw, unscripted heat of it burned into the dailies, a ghost that would haunt us both long after the lights dimmed. Samuel Hayes had never believed in fate, not the Hollywood kind peddled in glossy scripts and tearjerker montages. He was a stuntman, after all, 32 years old, built like a brick wall from years of slamming into them, with scars mapping his arms like a veteran's tattoos. Born in the Rust Belt grit of Pittsburgh, he chased the dream west on a Greyhound bus with nothing but a duffel bag and a chip on his shoulder the size of the Golden Gate. Stunts paid the bills, leaping from burning buildings, flipping ATVs over canyon edges, taking bullets that left real bruises under the squibs. It was controlled chaos, the illusion of danger without the finality. Until that night on the set of Eclipse Run, a gritty neo-noir thriller about a rogue cop unraveling a cartel conspiracy. Michael's movie. Michael freaking Langford, the golden boy of indie cinema turned blockbuster heartthrob, whose face had graced every billboard from Times Square to Sunset Strip. The script called for a high-octane chase ending in a fiery wreck. Michael's character, Detective Ryan Hale, corners the villain's enforcer, that's me, the nameless heavy with a 9 o'clock shadow and a switchblade glint in my eye, on a rain-lashed LA street. One last standoff, a gunshot, and I crumple dead before I hit the ground. Simple. Rehearsed a dozen times in the safety of blocking sessions, where Michael's easy charm had already started chipping away at my professional walls. He was the kind of actor who remembered your name, asked about your kid sister's soccer game, cracked jokes that made the grips laugh till they snorted coffee. Not like the diva leads I doubled before, the ones who treated us stunt rats like interchangeable props. But rehearsals didn't account for the adrenaline spike when the cameras rolled for real, or the way Michael's cologne, something woodsy and expensive, like cedar and sin, lingered in the air between takes. We'd locked eyes during the stare-down, his scripted snarl softening into something real, vulnerable, like he was seeing me, Samuel, not just the meat shield for his hero arc. Then the wire hit. The explosion bloomed orange and deafening. An instinct took over. My hand fisted in his jacket, yanking him close as gravity claimed us both. Our mouths met not in tenderness, but in collision, teeth clashing, his stubble scraping mine, a guttural sound escaping his throat that the boom mic caught crystal clear. The set erupted. "Holy shit! Sammy!" yelled Jax, my best buddy and fellow stunt coordinator, scrambling over with a fire blanket even though the flames were gelled and safe. Director Elena Vasquez vaulted from her chair, her silver-streaked ponytail whipping like a lash. "Roll tape. What the hell just happened? That wasn't in the shot sheet." Her voice was a mix of fury and fascination, the kind that birthed viral scandals or Oscar reels. Michael rolled off me, his chest heaving under the tactical vest, face flushed crimson under the Klieg lights. He wiped his mouth with the back of his hand, smearing the fake blood we'd both been spritzed with, and shot me a look half accusation, half something darker, hungrier. "You good, man?" he muttered, low enough that only I heard, his fingers brushing my wrist as he pushed to his feet. Electric. That's the word for it. Like touching a live wire in a puddle. I nodded, playing it cool, but my heart jackhammered against my battered ribs. Yeah. Adrenaline. Sorry. Mike. Lies. It wasn't sorry. It was the culmination of weeks of stolen glances in the makeup trailer, his knee bumping mine during table reads, the way he'd linger after rap, nursing a beer with the crew while his eyes traced the fresh bruises blooming on my neck. Samuel Hayes didn't do accidents. Not with a man like Michael Langford, who was out and proud in interviews but whispered rumors said was still dancing the closet tango for the studios. By dawn, the dailies were buzzing. Elena called an emergency huddle in her trailer, the air thick with espresso and secondhand smoke. "That take? It's gold," she declared, replaying the clip on her laptop. There we were, larger than life. The crash, the tumble, the kiss. Not a peck, a full-on claim, my body arching up into his like I was rising from the grave to drag him down with me. Michael's expression in the aftermath, frozen on frame, was pure poetry, shock melting into desire, his lips parted on a breath that fogged the lens. "But it's intimate," Elena hedged, glancing between us. Michael slouched in the corner armchair, nursing an ice pack to his elbow courtesy of my pull. He hadn't spoken much since the incident, just chain-smoked out by craft services, avoiding my gaze like I'd branded him. "Too intimate," Michael finally said, voice rough as gravel. "We res-hot it 5 times after." "Use one of those." Elena arched a brow. "Reshoots were vanilla, kid. This one's got teeth. Raw. Real." The test audience ate it up last night. Focus group scores through the roof. She paused, eyes narrowing. "Unless someone's got a problem with authenticity?" Michael's jaw ticked. He was 35, at the peak where every role could cement legacy or tank it. Eclipse Run was his bid for the big leagues. Directed by Elena, produced by the Sharks at Apex Studios. A kiss like that could queer the narrative, turn his brooding straight cop hero into something ambiguous. Fuel for the tabloids, Langford's steamy slip-up, stunt double or secret lover? I cleared my throat, the outsider in this power play. It was my bad. Wire snag. Won't happen again, but it had. And as we wrapped that day, Michael cornered me in the shadows of the prop garage, the scent of oil and rain machines heavy in the air. "What the fuck, Sam?" His whisper was fierce, but his body language screamed cornered animal. Shoulders hunched, eyes darting to the alley mouth where PAs milled. Heat of the moment, I lied again, stepping closer because I couldn't not. Close. He smelled like sweat and that damn cologne, his green eyes stormy under the sodium lamps. "You gonna report me to HR?" He laughed, bitter and broken. "HR? This is Hollywood, not some cubicle farm. But if that clip leaks..." He trailed off, hand raking through his hair, leaving it in artful disarray. My agent's already fielding calls from Variety. Accidental passion or method madness? I wanted to tell him it wasn't accidental. That every bruise I'd taken on this set felt like foreplay, every shared water bottle a tease. Instead, I shrugged. Blame the stunt guy. We're invisible anyway. You're not invisible, he snapped, voice cracking. Then, softer, not to me. The words hung there, a bridge or a bomb. Before I could cross it, his phone buzzed, his assistant, probably, with the next crisis. He backed away, the distance between us a chasm wider than the Grand Canyon I'd once jumped on a horse for a Western remake. See you tomorrow, Hayes. Try not to kill me. But as he vanished into the night, I knew tomorrow would bring more than reshoots. It would bring the unraveling. The next week blurred into a fever dream of night shoots and NDAs. Elena kept the kiss in the cut, arguing it added visceral stakes to Ryan Hale's arc. The cop haunted by the life he couldn't save, or some bullshit metaphor. Michael seethed in silence, his performance sharpening to a razor's edge. Every line laced with subtext. Every glance at my stand-in during action beats loaded with unspoken fury. Offset. He ghosted me. No more knee bumps. No beers after rap. Just polite nods in the makeup chair. His eyes averted to the mirror where an artist blended away my latest contusion. I drowned it in work, doubling for the villain in a warehouse brawl that left me with a hairline fracture in my pinky. Jax noticed, of course. Over greasy tacos at Roscoe's after a 12-hour day, he pinned me with that big brother stare. You and pretty boy got beef? Set feels like a powder keg. Nah, I muttered, popping a painkiller with my Corona. Just method acting. Jack snorted, his laugh booming like a bass drum. Method my ass. That kiss? Internet's already shipping you too. Hashtag stunt lovers trending on TikTok. I choked on foam. What? Relax. It's niche. Gay fanfic forums blowing up. But Apex's PR is squashing it like roaches. He clapped my shoulder. Gentle for a guy built like a linebacker. Just be careful, Sammy. Hollywood chews up queers like us and spits out confetti. Jax had come out in the 90s, back when stunt work was even rougher on ferries. He'd pulled me aside on my first gig, handed me a beer and a condom, said, "Kid, keep it zipped on set. Fame's a jealous bitch." I nodded, fresh from a Pittsburgh closet I'd kicked down at 22 after a fumbling hookup with my mechanic buddy. But Michael, he was the flame to my moth. All polished edges and hidden fractures. That fracture cracked open on a Friday, post-wrap for Act 2. The cast and crew spilled into the Viper room for Elena's bonding ritual, dim lights, thumping bass, shots of Patron flowing like the LA River in monsoon season. I nursed a whiskey at the bar, watching Michael hold court in a corner booth, laughing too loud at co-star Lila's jokes, his arms slung casual around her shoulders for the inevitable pap shots. Closeted? Maybe. Or just surviving. He caught my eye across the room, held it for a beat too long. Then he was weaving through the crowd, beer in hand, sliding onto the stool beside me like it was choreographed. Hayes. Truce. Truce, I echoed, clinking bottles. Close. The exhaustion etched lines around his eyes, the kind no concealer could hide. Rough week. You have no idea. He downed half his beer in one go. Adam's apple bobbing. Agents on my ass about the kiss. Says it'll rebrand me. Like I'm a fucking soda flavor. I chuckled. Low and real. Rebrand as what? Tortured soul with benefits. His gaze flicked to my mouth. Lingering. Something like that. The air thickened. charged like the moment before a squib pops. Why'd you do it, Sam? The kiss. Truth time. The bar noise faded to a hum. Because I've been wanting to since the table read. When you ad-libbied that line about ghosts in the machine, and looked right at me like you saw through the bullshit. He swallowed hard, fingers tightening on the bottle. Fuck. Me too. The admission hung, fragile as spun glass. Then his hand was on my knee under the bar, hidden but insistent, thumb tracing a circle that shot heat straight to my core. My place is 5 minutes away. No cameras. Heart slamming. I nodded. We slipped out the back, into the balmy night where palm fronds rustled like conspirators. His car, a sleek black Tesla, because of course idled at the curb, driver discreetly scrolling his phone. Michael waved him off. I'll drive. The ride to his Hollywood Hills eyrie was a blur of winding Mulholland curves. His hand on my thigh the whole way, squeezing like an anchor. His place was minimalist perfection. Glass walls overlooking the glittering sprawl, mid-century furniture that screamed, I pay someone to make me look effortless. He poured us Scotch single malt, peaty and smooth, and we crashed onto the leather sectional, the city lights painting us in neon confessions. I haven't, he started, then stopped, swirling his glass. Not with a guy. Not since drama school. The industry, it's a meat grinder for guys like us. Guys like us, I repeated, the words a bomb. I set my drink down, cupped his jaw, rough with evening stubble, and kissed him deliberate this time. No wires, no explosions. Just lips parting slow, tongues tentative then bold, his moan vibrating against my chest as I pulled him into my lap. We moved like we'd rehearsed it, shirts shed in a trail to the bedroom. His king-sized bed a sea of Egyptian cotton where I mapped his body with hands calloused from harnesses and hits. Michael arched under me, all lean muscle and actor's grace, whispering my name like a prayer. Sam. God. Sam. As I worked him open with fingers slick from the lube in his nightstand. Surprise flickered in me, stocked, prepared, but I shoved it down, focusing on the way he gasped when I finally sank into him, slow and deep, our rhythms syncing like a perfectly timed stunt. After, tangled in sheets that smelled like him, he traced the scar on my shoulder, a memento from a botched motorcycle jump 3 years back. You're fearless, he murmured, voice husky from cries I'd coaxed out of him. Nah. Just good at faking it. I kissed his temple, tasting salt. You, he tensed, then sighed. Terrified. But worth it. We fell asleep like that, limbs entwined, the first real peace I'd felt since Pittsburgh. Dawn crept in with the buzz of his phone, endless notifications. Michael groaned, reaching for it, then froze. Shit. On the screen, a TMZ alert. Langford's late-night lockdown. Mystery man spotted at Viper Room exit. Grainy pap shots of us. Blurred but unmistakable. My arm around his waist. His head on my shoulder as we ducked into the Tesla. The bubble burst. He bolted up, naked and frantic, scrolling. How? We were careful. Welcome to the circus, I said, stomach nodding. But as he paced, cursing his publicist, I saw the fear in his eyes, not of me, but of the world closing in. By noon, Apex's crisis team descended. Meetings in boardrooms with NDAs thicker than scripts. Michael's agent, a shark named Veronica with acrylic claws, hissing about optics and damage control. They spun it as method bonding. Me as the loyal stunt double fostering authentic chemistry. But the internet didn't buy it. Stunt lover trended worldwide. Fan edits of the kiss clip splicing with our exit photos. Theories exploding like the prop car all over again. Michael texted me from the war room. Can't see you tonight. Too hot. Sorry. I punched a bag in my Echo Park apartment until my knuckles split. Jax's words echoing. Fame's a jealous bitch. 2 weeks later, reshoots wrapped, an Eclipse run tested off the charts. Elena threw a rap party at Chateau Marmont, all champagne flutes and A-listers preening under chandeliers. I stuck to the fringes, nursing a gin and tonic, watching Michael work the room. Charming, untouchable, his laugh a shield. Our eyes met across the pool deck. He mouthed later, and I nodded, hope flickering despite the bruise. But later came with a twist. I found him in a private cabana, not alone. Veronica perched on the wicker chaise, scrolling her tablet, while Michael stared at the floor, tie loosened like a noose. Sam, he said, voice flat. We need to talk. Veronica didn't look up. Non-fraternization clause. Mr. Hayes. Sign it, and we'll forget the indiscretion. Indiscretion. The word landed like a gut punch. I glanced at Michael, waiting for him to fight, to say fuck the clause. Instead, he met my eyes, apology swimming there, and whispered, it's for the best. The movie. My career. Betrayal. Sharp as a switchblade. So the kiss was just another take? Reel and delete. No, he stood, reaching, but Veronica's glare stopped him cold. Sign, or you're off the promo tour. And trust me, blacklisting a stuntman is easier than you think. I snatched the pen, scrawled my name with a flourish that hid the tremor. There. Happy? Your boy's safe. Michael's face crumpled as I stormed out, the party noise swallowing my rage. Outside, under the Marmont's iconic bungalows, I lit a cigarette, first in months, and exhaled smoke like venom. Hollywood, where love was just special effects, and hearts were expendable props. But as I walked the Sunset Strip alone, neon blurring through unshed tears, my phone buzzed. Not Michael. Jax, dude, check the Daily's leak. It's everywhere. The kiss. Uncut, unfiltered, viral as a plague. And in the comments, Michael's name trending not in scandal, but solidarity fans, allies, even co-stars chiming in. Let them love. The tide was turning. But for me, it was just the beginning of the fall. The leak hit like a Category 5 shitstorm, sweeping Eclipse run from indie darling to cultural lightning rod overnight. By Monday morning, my dingy Echo Park walk-up, rent-stabilized heaven with peeling wallpaper and a view of the 101 freeway, felt like ground zero. My phone exploded. Texts from old Pittsburgh buddies. Bro, you're famous. Voicemails from agents I'd ghosted years ago. Call me. We need to talk queer action heroes. And a single, gut-wrenching message from Michael. I'm sorry. Call me. Please. I deleted it unread, then blocked his number. Sorry didn't unsign the NDA, didn't erase the way his silence had carved me hollow. Instead, I laced up my Nikes and ran the stairs to Griffith Observatory, lungs burning, until the Hollywood sign loomed like a cruel joke. Up there, amid joggers and tourists snapping selfies with the city sprawl, I let the sobs come raw, ugly, the kind that leave you scraped inside out. Samuel Hayes, Tough guy stunt rat, crying over a pretty boy actor who'd played me like a mark. Jax dragged me to his Silver Lake bungalow that afternoon, force-feeding me huevos rancheros from his abuela's recipe. His place was a stuntman's dream. Exposed beams from a 70s Reno, walls lined with framed call sheets and faded headshots of gigs gone by. Eat, pendejo, he growled, sliding the plate over. Can't plot revenge on an empty stomach. Not revenge, I muttered, poking at the eggs. Just survival, he snorted, cracking open a Tecate despite the hour. Bullshit. That leak, not random. Elena's doing Woman's a Chaos Engine. Spun it as artistic integrity in her Variety op-ed this morning. Quotes you both, vulnerability fuels truth. I paused. Fork midway. She what? Read it. He tossed his tablet across the coffee table, screen glowing with Elena's byline. There it was, praise for the unscripted intimacy that elevated the film, a nod to Michael's bravery in embracing it. No mention of the NDA, but the subtext screamed redemption arc. And buried in paragraph 4, stunt coordinator Samuel Hayes brought more than physicality to the role. He brought heart. Heart. The word stung. She outed us without asking, Jax shrugged. Or liberated you. Check your DMs, man. Offers pouring in queer web series. A Netflix action flick doubling for some trans icon. You're hot now. Hot. Queer stuntman with a viral kiss. Suddenly, I was bankable. But as I scrolled the influx, one email stopped me cold. From Apex Studios. Not a blacklist. An invite. Mr. Hayes. Regarding Eclipse Run promotional tour. Your presence requested for authenticity panels. Compensation, $50,000 plus expenses. Authenticity. Code for parade the gay stunt guy to launder the scandal. I slammed the laptop shut, nausea rising. They think they can buy me back in? Jax's eyes softened, the tough love facade cracking. Or maybe it's a door. Michael's been radio silent with the press. Cancelled 3 interviews. Rumor is, he's fighting to credit you in the film. As himself. Not just stunt double. My chest tightened. Credit meant visibility. Meant appending Michael's carefully curated straight-passing facade. For me, it meant dragging our mess into the spotlight, where every bruise and broken bone of our story would be dissected for clicks. That night, alone in my apartment, the cities hum a mocking lullaby. I unblocked Michael. Typed, authenticity panels? Really? His reply pinged instant. Not my call. But if you say yes, I'll make it right. Dinner tomorrow? Neutral ground. Neutral ground turned out to be a hole-in-the-wall taqueria in Boyle Heights, far from paparazzi haunts, where the air smelled of cilantro and sizzling carne asada. Michael arrived in a Dodgers cap pulled low, faded jeans hugging his hips, looking less like a star and more like a guy nursing a hangover, which, from the shadows under his eyes, he probably was. We slid into a corner booth, ordered al pastor tacos and horchata to cut the spice. You look like shit, I said. No preamble, as the server retreated. He huffed a laugh, genuine and ragged. Pot, kettle. Thanks for coming. Don't thank me yet. I leaned in, voice low over the mariachi playlist. The NDA. Veronica. You let her corner me like a rat. His fork paused midair, dripping salsa. I froze. She's got my balls in a vice, Next project's a franchise tentpole. $20 mill payday. One whiff of gay panic and it's gone. He set the fork down, hands flexing like he wanted to reach for mine but thought better. But I talked to Elena. She's pushing for your credit. And I came out. Sort of. I blinked. Sort out. Interview with Out magazine. Drops Friday. The kiss was real. So am I. His green eyes held mine, steady for the first time since the rap party. No more dancing. I want this us if you'll have me. The words landed soft, but they detonated. After the betrayal, the silence. You think a coming out confessional erases the bullshit? No. He slid his hand across the table, palm up, an offering. But it's a start. Let me show you. I stared at his fingers, long, artist's hands, nails bitten from stress, and felt the pull, magnetic as that first wire yank. Against every scar's whisper, I laced our fingers. One chance. Langford. Fuck it up, and I'm ghost. His smile broke slow, lighting his face like dawn over the hills. Deal. The promo tour kicked off a week later in New York. A whirlwind of panels, red carpets, and Q&As that felt like walking a high wire without a net. First stop, Lincoln Center, a packed auditorium buzzing with Film Fest diehards. Elena moderated, Michael and I flanking her like bookends, him in tailored navy, me in a simple button-down that hid the fresh ink on my forearm. A small cascade of stars, for the falls I'd taken and survived. The kiss clip played on the massive screen, the crowd gasping then cheering as our lips met in pixelated glory. Elena grinned. So, gentlemen, accident or destiny? Michael fielded it smooth, his public voice honed from years of charm offensives. A bit of both. Sam's got this way of making the impossible feel inevitable. His knee nudged mine under the table. Hidden Morse code. You good? I nodded, then leaned into my mic. American drawl thick with Pittsburgh grit. Stunts are about trust. Falling without fear because someone's got your rope. That kiss? It was me trusting Mike to catch me. Applause thundered, but backstage, the high faded. Michael's out piece had dropped that morning. Candid, raw, admitting the closet's toll, the kiss as catalyst. Twitter X, whatever, lit up. Allies praising his courage, trolls slinging slurs, but the wave crested positive. Yet in the green room mirror, his reflection showed cracks, jaw clenched, eyes haunted. You okay? I asked, handing him a water bottle. He chugged, then set it down hard. Veronica's livid. Says it's tanking franchise talks. But fuck it, feels good. Free. The word echoed as we jetted to Toronto next. Then Austin. Each city a blur of hotel suites and stolen moments. In Austin's Driscoll Hotel, after a rowdy South by Southwest panel, where a fan proposed to us both, cue viral laughs, we finally had space. The room overlooked Congress Avenue Bridge, bats swirling at dusk like living smoke. We ordered room service, brisket sliders, because Texas, and ate cross-legged on the four-poster, trading stories like contraband. First crush, I prompted, popping a fry. He chewed thoughtfully. Summer stock in Vermont. Set carpenter named Theo. Built like you, solid, quiet. Kissed behind the fly loft during our town. He ghosted after curtain call. Michael smirked, but pain lingered. You, Pittsburgh dive bar. Mechanic named Rory. Fixed my truck, then my heart. Lasted 6 months till he split for Seattle. I shrugged. Left me this. I tugged up my sleeve, showing the faded tattoo on my bicep. A wrench crossed with a gear, inked in a haze of heartbreak. Michael traced it with a fingertip. Shiver-worthy. Beautiful. The air shifted, heavy with intent. We cleared the trays, and he pushed me back against the pillows, kisses trailing from jaw to collarbone, unbuttoning me slow like unwrapping a gift. "Let me," he murmured, voice velvet, as his mouth ventured lower, hot, worshipful, drawing gasps I couldn't stunt. I tangled fingers in his hair, guiding, the city lights flickering like applause through the shears. After, sated and sticky, we lay staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. "This tour," he said softly, head on my chest. "It's us against the world." "Ha! Yeah." I kissed his hair. But worlds change. They did. Viciously. In Chicago. Windy City whirlwind. Panels by day. Underground queer bars by night. Michael thrived, signing autographs with fans who'd flown in for the Kiss couple, his walls crumbling brick by brick. I soaked it in. The normalcy of hand-holding in Boys Town. Stolen dances to Chapel Roan under disco lights. For the first time, I wasn't the shadow double, I was seen. Then the betrayal resurfaced. Not from Michael, but his past. At a glitzy after-party in the Trump Tower, irony noted, Veronica cornered us by the bar, martini in claw. "Darling," she cooed to Michael, ignoring me like lint. That Collider interview? Gold. But the franchise, they're balking. Want you to clarify. Experimental phase, they suggest. Michael's arm tensed around my waist. Clarify what? I'm gay. End of. She laughed, tinkling ice. Sweetheart, Hollywood loves progress on its terms. Play along, or kiss the cape goodbye. Her eyes flicked to me, venomous. And take your pet project off the tour. Authenticity's cute, but not bankable. Pet project. I stiffened, pulling away. I'm right here, lady. Veronica arched a brow. And? Stuntmen are dime a dozen. Michael's a star. Michael whirled on her. Enough. He's not, but the damage seeped. Old wounds reopening. I excused myself to the balcony. City winds whipping my face. The loop glittering indifferent below. Michael followed minutes later, coat in hand. Sam. Ignore her. She's scared, losing her 10%. I turned. Voice steel. She's right, though. I'm the sidekick. Always will be. No. He cupped my face. Urgent. You're the lead in my story. Fuck the franchise. We kissed there. Fierce and defiant. But doubt wormed in. The tour dragged to Sundance in Park City. Snow blanketing the streets like fresh starts. Panels turned intimate. Talks on queer representation. Michael's vulnerability drawing tears from moderators. One night, in a cabin suite with a fireplace crackling, he dropped to one knee, not proposal, but confession. I love you, he said. Simple, ringless. Since the table read. Marry this mess. Tears pricked. Yeah. But only if we write our own script. We made love by firelight. Slow and sacred. Bodies sinking like we'd been choreographed for eternity. But dawn brought emails. Apex pulling funding for reshoots. Veronica's resignation letter, good riddance. And a tabloid drop. Leaked texts from Michael's pre-kiss fling with Lila, the co-star, painting him as a serial dater, bicurious at best. The backlash hit like an iceberg. Sponsors dropping, fans fracturing into camps, Team Stunt Lover versus. He's faking it, Michael spiraled, canceling a keynote, holing up in the cabin with whiskey and what-ifs. I found him on the porch, snow-dusted, staring at the Wasatch Peaks. It's over, he muttered. All of it. No. I knelt beside him, stealing the bottle. It's just Act 2. But as storms rolled in, blanking the roads, isolation bred ghosts. Michael's phone silenced, but mine buzzed, Jax. Frantic. Sammy. Get out. Veronica's shopping dirt. Says the kiss was staged. You're the aggressor. LAPD's involved? Some bullshit assault claim. Assault. The word iced my veins. Betrayals sequel. Not Michael's, but the machines, grinding us to paste. Park City's blizzards trapped us like rats in a snow globe. The Sundance Fest a distant hum beyond our cabin's frosted windows. Michael's Love You, from the night before echoed hollow now. Drowned by the avalanche of headlines crashing my inbox. Langford lover accused, Stuntman's, forced kiss rocks Hollywood. Veronica's parting shot. Venom distilled. Anonymous sourcing claiming I'd ambushed him on set, twisting the viral clip into predator porn. LAPD? A preliminary inquiry, per TMZ. Fueled by Apex's lawyers circling like vultures scenting blood. I paced the pine floors, boots tracking slush, while Michael huddled on the couch under a Hudson Bay blanket, face buried in his hands. This is my fault, he rasped, voice muffled. I should have shut her down sooner. Stop, I knelt, prying his hands free. His eyes were red-rimmed, green depth stormy as the skies outside. It's the system's fault. They can't handle a gay lead who picks his own stunts in life. Too, he laughed, bitter. My own stunts. Cute, then, softer. What do? We still us, even in the eye. Fight, I said, pulling him up. Call Elena. She's got pull. Elena answered on the first ring. Her voice a lifeline from LA, clipped, furious. Veronica's a cunt. I've got the full dailies. That kiss was mutual as a goddamn tango. Leaking them now uncut, with audio. And I'm filing defamation. You two hold up. Snowed in, Michael supplied. Speaker on. But ready. Good. Stay put. My team's en route with snowmobiles, legal docs. PR spin. We're turning this into their scandal. She paused. Tone warming. Proud of you, boys. Real heroes don't fake the fall. The call ended, but the cabin felt smaller, walls pressing with unspoken fears. Michael busied himself stoking the fire, sparks dancing like defiant stars, while I scrolled X, fans rallying with justice for the kiss, edits splicing the clip with empowerment anthems, even a change.org petition for an investigation into Apex's toxic culture. But the trolls burrowed deep, slurs carving into my mentions, old Pittsburgh skeletons dragged out, grainy photos from my bar days, captioned predator in plain sight. Michael caught me staring, snatched the phone. Enough. He tossed it into a drawer, then pulled me to the rug by the hearth, backs to the flames. Remember the taqueria? One chance. I nodded, throat tight. Still got it. We talked then, Really talked, peeling back layers like onion skins. Michael's closet. A Chicago youth theater kid, out to his folks at 16, only to watch his dad's construction firm lose clients overnight. He still loves me, Michael said, poking the fire. But holidays? Awkward as fuck. Mine, the wrench tattoo's origin. Rory's goodbye note blaming small-town eyes on us both. Taught me to hide, I admitted. Till you yanked me out. He kissed me then, tender, tasting of coffee and resolve. No more hiding. Elena's team arrived at dusk. 2 attorneys in North Face gear, laptops humming with countersuits. Over reheated chili from the pantry, we plotted. Release the full take, including the post-cut laughter where Michael had joked. Encore. Subpoena Veronica's emails. Expose Apex's pressure tactics. This isn't just defense, lead counsel Mara said, sharp as her bob haircut. It's revolution. Queer stories owned by queer creators. No more studio puppets. Michael's eyes lit. Do it. By morning, roads cleared enough for a chopper evac to Salt Lake's airport. Dramatic as any stunt. Blades whirring snow devils as we boarded. Back in L.A., the war room shifted to Elena's production office in West Hollywood. Whiteboards scrawled with timelines, coffee IVs dripping, a wall of monitors streaming live coverage. The dailies drop hit at noon, a 10-minute supercut of behind-the-scenes joy, me and Michael rehearsing the crash, high-fiving after safe landings, that kiss blooming from play to passion. Audio unfiltered. My mic. Post-tumble. His breathless yeah. Before the cut. The internet imploded. CNN looped it. The View dedicated a segment to Hollywood's reckoning. Michael's Out interview resurfaced. Canonized. And the LAPD? Inquiry dropped within hours. Insufficient evidence. Matter closed. Veronica's claim crumbling like wet paper. But victory tasted bittersweet. Apex sued for breach, claiming the leak violated their IP, sending Michael's franchise dreams into limbo. He took it in stride, booking a low-key queer rom-com instead, co-starring some TikTok sensation. Indie roots. He quipped over takeout Thai in my apartment, chopsticks clinking. Back to basics. Basics looked good on him. Faded tees. My ratty couch molding to our sprawl. Nights where we'd cook, badly burnt garlic bread and al dente pasta, laughing till wine snorted out noses. I landed gigs too, doubling for a non-binary lead in a sci-fi thriller, my name above the fold in stunt credits for once. Jax threw a fuck the man barbecue at his place, grilling ribs while regaling the crew with exaggerated tales of our epic tumble. Yet shadows lingered. Michael's dad called during a rare quiet evening, speaker on, tension thick as fog. Saw the news, son. Proud. But worried. The spotlight, it's bright, burns hot. I know, Dad. Michael's voice steadied on my hand in his lap. But Sam's got my back. Like you taught me, build solid. Weather the storm. A pause. Then, bring him to Christmas? Your mom's turkey needs critique. We hung up, both blinking back emotion. That just happened, I said, dazed. Yeah, he grinned, boyish. Family edition. Christmas in Chicago was a crash course in Langford lore. Michael's mom, a petite whirlwind with his eyes, hugging me like a long-lost son. His dad, gruff ex-contractor, bonding over Bears games and garage tinkering Michael's old bike frame, rusted but redeemable. Siblings ribbed us mercilessly. Kissy face on the news. Bro. But the warmth seeped in. thawing my Pittsburgh frost. New Year's dawned in Times Square, not for the ball drop, but a surprise Eclipse run premiere. Elena had fast-tracked it post-scandal, turning poison to platinum. Red carpet frenzy. Flashes blinding. Fans chanting stunt lover as we posed. Arms linked. Michael's tux brushing my own rented one. Inside, the film unspooled magic. Our kiss, now context-rich, drawing gasps then cheers. Post-screening Q&A, Elena beamed. To the men who fell and rose. Backstage, Michael pulled me into a utility closet. Ironic echo, kissing me senseless. Told you destiny, but Hollywood's honeymoon soured come spring. My sci-fi gig wrapped, but whispers followed. Hayes's drama pass. Michael's rom-com tested middling. Critics praised the bold queerness, but audiences craved capes. We weathered it cooped in his Hills house. Binging the bear and baking cookies, his specialty. Chocolate chip with sea salt. Mine, hockey pucks. Then the real conflict detonated. An offer for Michael, a superhero reboot. The franchise Veronica had dangled, now with a queer-coded sidekick role. They want authenticity, he explained over breakfast tacos. Script pages scattered. You double the fights. 6 pics. Locked. 6 pictures. Years of green screens and NDAs. Us orbiting each other in spandex and secrecy. Sounds like a cage, I said. Careful. He set down his fork. Or a launch pad. For both of us. The fight brewed slow, then erupted that night. Dishes clattering. Voices rising over the infinity pool's ripple. You're selling out, I yelled, the Pittsburgh in me roaring. Back to the dance. It's work. Sam, Bill's, dreams. My dreams, you idiot. Not some CGI closet. He recoiled, hurt flashing. Then what? Quit? Barista with a side of fanfic. The door slam echoed longest. Me storming to Echo Park. Crashing on Jax's couch. Days blurred. Radio silence. Gym sessions till muscles screamed. Jax's tough love. Fix it or forget it. Kid. Michael's texts piled. Miss you. Talk? I cracked on day 5. Meeting him at Runyon Canyon neutral trails. Eucalyptus sharp in the air. We hiked in silence. Sweat beading. Until the overlook. City sprawled. Vast and vulnerable. I'm scared, he admitted. Breath ragged. Of losing you to this machine. Me too. I took his hand. Blisters from ropes callousing mine. But we rewrite the contract. No clauses. Just us. He nodded. Tears salting the vista. Partners. On and off set. The makeup sex that night. In my creaky bed. Not his palace was raw. Reclaiming. Bites marking collarbones. Whispers of mine against skin. Dawn found us plotting. Counteroffer to the franchise, creative input. My stunt cred elevated. Queer consultants on board. Apex balked. Then bent. Summer bloomed with green lights. The reboot, but ours. Michael's hero pining for a male ally. Fights choreographed by me with real stakes. We moved in together. His Hills pad plus my vinyl collection and Jax's hand-me-down grill. Life normalized. Almost. Grocery runs in WeHo, where baristas comped our lattes with winks. Dog walks with a rescue mutt named Crash. But climax loomed. Inevitable as a director's cut. On location in Atlanta for the reboot's pilot, humid nights shooting warehouse brawls, Michael's phone rang mid-take. His mom, Dad's heart. Come home. We flew commercial, hands clenched through turbulence. Chicago ER, monitors beeping, Michael's dad pale on starch sheets, tubes snaking like villains. Knew you'd come, he wheezed, gripping Michael's hand, then mine. Take care of my boy, Samuel. He's a jumper, needs a spotter. Always, I choked. He rallied, stubborn as his son, but the scare reframed everything. Back in LA, Michael proposed for real on the Griffith trails, ring simple platinum, knee in dirt. Marry me? For the falls ahead. Yes, I said, pulling him up into a kiss that outshone any screen. Wedding planning ensued, small, humanist affair in the hills, Elena officiating in a power suit, Jack's best man with a speech roasting our tumble into love. Vows exchanged under string lights. Michael's, I fall for you every day. Mine, I'll catch you. Always. But by tragedy whispered. Post-honeymoon, Big Sur cabins, waves crashing like applause. Michael's dad worsened. We shuttled Midwest, me doubling as nurse's aide, fetching coffees, holding hands through chemo chats. Proud of you both, he'd say, voice fading. Broke the mold. He passed in autumn leaves gold. Funeral a quiet Quaker rite. Michael's sobs against my shoulder. The final betrayal of time. We scattered ashes on Lake Michigan's shore. Winds whipping vows anew. To live loud. Love deeper. Back west. Eclipse run swept Indies, Michael Best Actor. Me a surprise stunt award. The franchise launched. Box office roaring. Our on-screen chemistry sparking sequels. But off-screen, that's the humanistic heart. Us, scarred and steady, building not fame, but home. The funeral's echo lingered like smoke from a dud squib, acrid, clinging to our clothes even after the flight back to LA. Michael's grief was a quiet storm. Days lost in script revisions, nights where he'd wake gasping, my name an anchor in the dark. I held him through it, our bodies a bulwark against the void. But the machine didn't pause. The franchise reboot, Shadow Vale, demanded reshoots in Vancouver, rain-slick streets mirroring our mood, green screens swallowing screams. On set, Michael transformed, his hero, Captain Eclipse, a brooding guardian with a fractured moral code, channeled the raw edge of loss. I doubled the fights, wire work through shattered glass facades, a brutal alley beatdown where I took a real elbow to the jaw, spitting blood for authenticity. Method widower, he'd joke post-take, dabbing my split lip with a towel, but his eyes held ghosts. Jax flew up mid-shoot, sensing the fracture. Over poutine at a dive near the studio. Gravy thick as unspoken words, he cornered us in a booth. You two look like you wrestled a bear. Spill. Michael poked at his fries. Dad's gone. Feels like. Unfinished stunt. Jax nodded, wise beyond his beer gut. Loss is the ultimate drop. No harness. But you land different, stronger. He clapped my shoulder. Sammy here's proof. Took a header for love. Came up swinging. We laughed. The first real one in weeks. And plotted escape. A weekend off. No calls. We drove the sea-to-sky highway to Whistler. Cabin rental with a hot tub steaming under pines. Snow fell soft, blanketing the world in hush. That night, bubbles churning, Michael straddled me, water sloshing as he rode slow, deliberate, eyes locked, breaths mingling fog. I need you, he whispered, not plea but fact, and I gave hands gripping hips slick as the falls we'd choreographed. Morning brought clarity. Over maple syrup pancakes, he voiced it. The franchise, it's Dad's dream. Big screen legacy. But it's eating us. I set down my fork. Then pivot. Your rom-com series, queer ensemble, no capes. Right in the stunts. His brow furrowed, then smoothed. Co-create? You and me. Partners. Remember. He kissed me sticky sweet. Done. The pivot pitched to Apex next week. Vancouver to boardroom teleport. Elena in our corner via Zoom. Her silver mane a halo of hell no. Michael's vision. Veil of Hearts. Grounded gay thriller series. Samuel executive produces stunts. Or lose him to Netflix. Apex blinked, then bid. We inked the deal over Zoom cheers. Jack's popping virtual champagne. Veil greenlit fast. Michael as a PI unraveling corporate corruption. Me not just doubling but co-directing action. Fights with emotional beats. Falls symbolizing trust rebuilt. Production blissed us. Location scouting in Seattle's underbelly. Rainy alleys evoking our first kiss. Michael thrived. Lines laced with post-grief depth. I innovated sequences. A rooftop chase ending in embrace. Not explosion. Offset. Normalcy bloomed. Farmers markets for heirloom tomatoes. Dog park romps where Crash herded chihuahuas like a pro. But conflict crested in summer swelter. A Veil script draft leaked. Early cut where Michael's PI hooks up with a female informant. A straight detour for tension. Fan backlash ignited. Queerbait no more trending. Petitions flooding. Michael's phone blew up. Activists praising his outness. Now demanding consistency. We hold in the hills. Wine flowing. Script pages shredded. It's not bait, he insisted. Pacing. Just. Plot. Real life's messy. Messy like the closet? I shot back. Heat rising. You promised no dance. He whirled. Face crumpling. I'm trying. Sam. But studios want relatable. Code for straight washing. The fight spilled ugly. Accusations flying me. Controlling. Him compromised. I stormed to the guest room. Door clicking like a guillotine. Morning found him asleep on the couch. Script clutched like a shield. Tear-streaked. Guilt gnawed. I brewed coffee strong. Plated his favorite. Avocado toast with poached eggs and sat beside him. Sorry. I'm scared too, of us becoming the machine's token couple. He stirred. Eyes puffy. Me three. We rewrote the scene together. The hookup becomes a red herring kiss with a male ally mine. Cameo as a bouncer turned informant. Twisting to deepen the PI's arc. Elena approved. Apex grumbled but funded. The leak became a boon buzz building, casting calls for diverse queer roles. We celebrated with Jax's crew. Bonfire on Zuma Beach. Esmores and stories. Michael's laugh ringing free. Autumn brought Eclipse Run's wide release. Premiere at TCL Chinese. Carpet a sea of flashes. We walked it hand in hand. Michael's tux midnight blue. Mine charcoal to match. Inside. The kiss played to ovations. Post-film. Speeches flowed. Michael's dedicating to his dad. Who taught me to jump without looking back. Mine. To the spotters. The loves who make the fall worthwhile. Box office shattered records. Queer romance pulling straights. The kiss memed into icons. Awards season followed. Globes nod for Michael. SAG ensemble for the cast including my stunt team. Backstage at the SAGs. Champagne fizzing. He pulled me into a janitor's closet. Echoing forever. and proposed again. Ring upgraded. Intertwined bands. Engraved catch you. For real this time. Vegas, or elope in Big Sur. Big Sur, I grinned. Waves as witnesses, but betrayal's shadow loomed one last time. Pre-wedding, a letter arrived, anonymous, postmarked Pittsburgh. Rory, my ex, saw you on the news. Congrats. But remember, fame fades. Don't let it fade you. Attached. That old wrench tattoo photo. Annotated with bar gossip. Lies from jealous nights. Michael's jaw set reading it. Ex-drama. Worse. Insecurity bomb. I burned it in the sink. Flames dancing. But we're flame-proof. Wedding day dawned misty in Big Sur. Cliffs sheer. Ocean roaring hymns. Elena officiated barefoot. Jack's groomsmen with vows roasting, from stunt to stud. Guests sparse, family. Crew. The mutt crash in a bow tie. Michael's eyes shone as we exchanged rings. Samuel Hayes. You tumbled into my world and made it whole. I vow to fall with you. Every take. Michael Langford, I replied. Voice steady. You kissed life into my scars. I vow to spot you. Through every drop. Seals clapped. Cake smashed. Sea salt caramel. His recipe. Honeymoon. Same cabins. But now hitched. Nights endless. Days hiking redwoods hand in hand. Veil of Hearts premiered to acclaim. Critics hailing. The queer noir we deserve. Audiences streaming in packs. Michael and I guessed it on podcasts. Our story the hook. From accidental kiss to intentional life. Yet humanism tempered triumph. Michael's grief anniversaries. We visited Chicago. Lake walks with his dad's ashes scattered in wind. My Pittsburgh roots called. A family reunion where mom hugged Michael fierce. Heard you fixed my boy's heart. Scars showed. Therapy sessions unpacking closets. Boundaries with press. One night, post-Emmys he won. I presented. Sprawled on our deck overlooking the sprawl. Stars pricking velvet sky. He turned to me. Think Dad's watching? Approving the plot twist. I squeezed his hand. Spotting every jump. Life rolled. Veil renewed. My directorial debut greenlit. A doc on stunt queers. Untold falls. Crash puppied a litter. We kept one. Named Spot. Mornings. Coffee shared. Scripts brainstormed. Evenings. Vinyl spins. His head on my lap. City humming approval. No bykill. Just quiet crescendo. The accidental kiss? Origin myth. Retold in toasts. Tattoos. Our vows. Hollywood's jealous bitch tamed. Not conquered, but leashed. We fell together. Rose human, flawed. Fierce. Forever midair. Years folded like film reels. Each frame a testament to the tumble we'd survived. Veil of Hearts spun 3 seasons. Michael's PI evolving from lone wolf to pack leader. Alliances forged in dimly lit bars. Betrayals unraveled in dawn raids I choreographed with bone-deep precision. My doc. Falls of Faith. Debuted at Tribeca to standing O's. Interviews with queer stunt legends. Archival clips of harnessed heartbreaks. Ending on our kiss, now legend. Bookend by wedding vows. Critics called it a love letter to the invisible. It streamed eternal on Criterion Channel. We built a life layered. Not linear. The Hills house expanded. A home studio for Michael's voice memos. A gym padded for my prototype rigs. Safer falls for aging bodies. Crash's pup, Spot, grew into a loping guardian, herding our chaos with flop-eared wisdom. Family wove in, Michael's siblings visiting with kids in tow, turning wrap parties into pillow forts. My mom relocating west, her Pyrrhus the star of every potluck. But drama's pulse never fully stilled. Hollywood's rhythm, after all. Season 4's arc pitched a mole in the PI's inner circle, a trusted ally turning traitor for corporate gain. Michael greenlit it, eyes alight. Meta as fuck. Us against the machine. Again. Shooting ramped in New Orleans. Moss-draped streets. Jazz funerals for cover scenes. I doubled a brutal bayou brawl. Mud sucking at boots. Gator props snapping too close. Post-take. Michael toweled me off in the trailer. Fingers lingering on ribs. My hero. Yours. I murmured, pulling him down for a kiss tasting of chicory and sweat. The betrayal plot mirrored life when a producer, fresh Apex blood, Veronica's protege named Trent, pushed rewrites, softened the gay. More hetero hookups for mass appeal. Michael's response. A table flip, scripts scattering like confetti. Over my dead arc, Trent smirked. Careers die easy. Langford. Ask your husband. The slur landed sly, a nod to tabloid digs we'd long ignored. I lunged. Michael hauled me back. Out. Now. Trent sauntered, but the seed-rooted doubt creeping during late-night revisions. What if he's right? Michael confessed over beignet at dawn, powdered sugar dusting his doubt. We're niche. Vale's ratings dipped last quarter. I cupped his chin, thumb tracing stubble. Niche is power. We built this, fans, not formulas. He nodded, but tension simmered. Climax brewed on a swamp chute. Fog machines churning. My stunt, leaping from an airboat to wrestle the mole, a burly extra, going pear-shaped. Rope frayed mid-swing. I slammed deck hard, shoulder popping audible. Pain bloomed white-hot, but adrenaline masked till wrap. ER confirmed. Rotator cuff tear. Surgery stat. Michael white-knuckled the drive back. Silent fury. This job, it's killing you. Us. I corrected. Doped on oxy. But worth it. Surgery sidelined me 6 weeks. Sling-bound on the couch. Spot curled at feet. Michael force-feeding smoothies between takes. He delegated stunts to Jax. Visited daily with plot twists and foot rubs. Can't lose my spotter, he'd whisper, kissing scars anew. Recovery forged us tighter. Physical therapy doubled as date nights. Me grunting through reps. Him reading lines from the script. Our laughter echoing clinic halls. Trent's pushback escalated. Leaked memos demanding diversity quota cuts, framing our personal drama as disruption. Michael snapped. Boardroom showdown. Elena flanking. Jax on Zoom from LA. Rewrite or resign, Michael declared. Voice steel. Vale stays queer. Or stays without me. Apex folded, again Trent ousted. Seasons secured with creator veto. Premiere party in Nola's French Quarter. Brass bands parading. Beignet raining. Michael's toast. To falls that free us. And the hands that catch. Post-series. We semi-retired. Michael directing shorts. Me consulting stunts for indies. Teaching workshops at USC. Falling with feeling. Our home became haven. Garden herbs thriving, his green thumb. Library walls groaning with scripts and memoirs. Climax revisited in subtler storms. Michael's 50th loomed. Mine at 48. Silver threading our hair like film grain. A biopic offer tempted. His dad's untold story. construction whistleblower in Reagan's Rust Belt. Raw, he said, pages trembling. But opens old wounds. I read beside him, hand on knee. We heal together, filming in Pittsburgh. My roots, stirred ghosts. Bar crawls past haunts. Rory's shop shuttered but memory sharp. Michael nailed the patriarch. Grit honed from loss. I doubled a factory fall. Harness humming home. Rap gift. He inked a star cascade on his bicep, matching mine. Premiere in Pittsburgh's Harris Theater. Family turnout. My mom tearing up ringside. Standing O thundered. Michael's speech. Dad built bridges. Sam helped me cross. Post-fame. Humanism bloomed quiet. We fostered pups. Crash's grandpups. Rehoming with queer families. Volunteered at LA's LGBTQ Center. Michael mentoring young actors. Me leading stunt safety for all clinics. Travel beckoned. Tuscany vines. Tokyo neon. Each stamp a chapter. One anniversary. 10th. Big Sur Redux we hiked Pfeiffer Beach. Waves purple-hued at dusk. Remember the kiss? He asked. Toes in surf. First fall. I pulled him close. Salt spray anointing. Best accident. He grinned. Timeless. Destiny's stunt double. Back home. Legacy unfolded. Eclipse remastered for IMAX. Our kiss in 3D glory. Veil box set with commentaries. Our voices overlapping. Laughing at outtakes. Kids visited. Niece asking. Uncle Sam. Teach me to jump. With heart, I'd say. Michael's wink approval. Old age crept cinematic. 60s silver. Joints creaking like old reels. We downsized to a Malibu ranch, ocean views. Room for grandpups. Michael wrote memoirs. Tumbled truths. Ghosted by none. Sales buoyed by our myth. My final stunt? Not a fall. But a stand hospital bed. Cancer's quiet coup. Michael's hand in mine. Spot me? I whispered. Machines beeping elegy. Always, he vowed. Kissing brow. Crew assembled. Jax teary. Elena fierce. Family orbiting. Fade to light. Not tragic, but transition. Michael's eulogy at the cliffs. Sam didn't just catch me, he taught me to fly. He followed years later. Script finished. Our story. Unspooled eternal. Ashes mingled on that shore. Winds carrying whispers, encore? Yeah. Humanism's end. Love as the ultimate take. Raw cut. Forever screening in hearts we touched. The accidental kiss? Echo. Eternal proof that in Hollywood's glare, true falls land softest.